Hello and welcome to the Book Bunch. Today I would like to say a special thank you to all the new subscribers that have joined the channel, and I would also like to say thank you for coming back to view another one of these videos. I really do hope you enjoy them. Please comment below things you would like me to read, things you think I could improve on, because I really want to make these videos the best I can for you guys. So yeah, let me know, and I hope you enjoy this video today. So in this video we're going to be talking about Gilead. This is a book I didn't really know anything about before I picked it up and read it. It's actually a Christian contemporary fiction, or at least that's the best way I can describe it. It's not quite like anything I've ever read before, but it was so good and I really do recommend it. It was really profound, and I do think that everyone should give it a read just because it gives you a really interesting perspective on life and faith and family and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, let's get into it. Basically, Gilead follows an old man who is in his late 70s, and he is on the verge of death because he's been diagnosed with a terminal illness. And he is married to a much younger woman. She's in her, I think it's late 30s or early 40s, something like that. And they have a 6-year-old boy. And he is a pastor who pretty much didn't ever think he would find love again, because when he was in his very early 20s, he did get married to his childhood sweetheart and they had a child, but unfortunately both her and the baby died in childbirth. So since then he didn't really have any love interest or anything like that until one day he was preaching in church as always, and he was in his late 60s, and this woman walked in and stole his heart. And this is a letter to his son, who, like I said, is 6 at the time, but he's kind of writing it in a future perspective. So in the thought that when the boy grows up, if this letter survives, it will be given to him to read and help him with his life and to know more about his family, his father, who he unfortunately won't really know very well, and all of the history behind that, and just get a little bit of insight in who his father was. So yes, it follows Reverend John Ames, and he is a really interesting fellow, I would say. He's been through some interesting things in his life. He's also experienced different things and had things passed down to him, stories and knowledge of his family that we learn a bit about, of his father and his grandfather and their tumultuous relationship and all of that kind of thing. It also follows throughout the story this son of his best friend who is named after him. So his friend's son's name is also John Ames, but he has a different last name, so he's John Ames Borrow. And he had this weird relationship with this boy as he was growing up, because he was meant to be like the godfather to this kid who was named after him, and it was meant to be this like grand gesture that his friend named his son after him because he had lost his like kids and stuff and his wife, and like he could live vicariously through this boy and this family and stuff. And then the kid grows up to be not what any of them expected. He doesn't have the Christian faith. He steals and is not very nice to people. And he's a bit of a loner. And he makes very bad choices. And so this main character basically has this weird relationship with him where he has almost disowned him in a way, but not. I don't know how to really describe it. Sorry if you can hear my baby in the background. She's currently playing in her cot. But yeah, it's just a really interesting take on the story. And the boy who's now become a man, he has left the town for a significant period of time, 20 something years, and he's just returned because his father is dying. So the main character's best friend is also dying. And they are trying to reconcile everything that's happened over the years and all of these feelings. And he's kind of written this all down to his son as he's trying to process it himself, and his feelings and his anger and his unforgiveness, but also this pity that he feels and everything. And then there's things that you find out that has happened, and it changes the whole relationship. And yeah, it's a really interesting read. It's almost stream of consciousness / a diary almost. There's no dates or anything, and there's no chapters. It just keeps going. But I wouldn't necessarily say it's written like a letter. It's almost like a retelling of significant events in his day, or things that he wants to remember and he wants his son to remember. It's a bit weird, like I said, nothing like I've ever read, but so easy to read and so nice to read. Like at first I was like, oh, this isn't what I thought. Prob's not going to keep at it. But I just couldn't really put it down. And when I did put it down to say go get some water or some food or go do something around the house or look after my baby, I'd want to come back to it. So yeah, it was really well written, really interesting, even though, yeah, it doesn't necessarily talk about things that I would normally find interesting. Just something about it really was, and it was really profound. And I love how they portray faith in this, how they talk about faith, how they talk about our own wrestlings with faith and our sin, I guess, and how we continually fall short. Even when we're trying absolute best, we still can't be perfect. We still can't control our own thoughts and our feelings and everything, and how life can kind of get away from us. And I love the perspective that it is from a guy who is looking back on his life and knows that he's at his end and knows what he's leaving behind, because he does still have joy and he does still have peace. And I don't know, it's just really good, and I really recommend it. I'm sorry if none of this made much sense, but I do believe they have turned this into a movie, but I haven't seen the movie. If you've watched it, let me know in the comments below if you recommend it, because I wouldn't mind watching it if it's good, and if it is like the book, I'm not sure. But yeah, I definitely recommend to pick this one up, give it a read. Be prepared for it not to be what you think it will be, and just go along with the journey, because it's a good one and I really liked it. And I see why people recommend it, and it has kind of become a classic almost, because it's really good and really worth your time. So yes, that is Gilead. It really did take me by surprise that I enjoyed it so much. I'm giving it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, which again is unusual for me because I don't normally read contemporary fiction. So I'll leave it there for you. I definitely need to contemplate on it more. Let me know if you like this video in the comments below, and please like and subscribe if you can, so you can get notified of when I upload more videos. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!